I wanted to pop on and just show you some of the things that we are working on. I'm not sure exactly when I will release this video, either before or after you see the actual lesson, but in any case, yeah. So here's my binder, my homeschool planner. Yeah, gotta love baby. She got to my pages, but yeah, expo marker, that's all good. Anywho, you guys watch my planner video, or if you haven't, go back and watch it. It's just told how I plan for multiple children, and yeah. Anywho, you guys know I don't date my things because I don't know from week to week or day to day, in a sense, if we're actually going to do it. We do something, or we do work. It might not be that particular lesson, and because I write it down, I don't want to have to go back and change it, because that would just drive me nuts to have something, you know, scheduled for Monday and it ends up happening on Friday, and I see it. It's the visual thing that would drive me crazy. So that's why I don't do any dates. But I need a roadmap, so I do write things down. This way I have the lesson laid out in front of me, so I can just pick, or the kids will you know, want to do something, and 9 times out of 10 it's something I already have laid out. So I just pull out my resources and have at it. So we did art already. Library is what we are covering. You guys know we school year round, and I kind of gave them a break at June so I can plan, regroup, and we just did a lot of light schooling. Now we are back full force, and yeah, it's going great. So I mean, weeks 1 and 2, I would call that, but like I said, I seem to be following the pattern. I don't know if we'll get to this next week and next week and next week. I don't know that. We might, you know, find something totally different, because, you know, I stuck frogs in there. So actually we're on week number 3, but for book's sake. Anywho, so what I did was pull out my handy dandy resources into this. Okay, so I am working with, and I just lost a book, with the weekly curriculum still this year. Preschool themes, because of the 2 little ones. I have pulled, had to incorporate them as well. So if you guys know my teaching style, even though we have different grade levels, age levels, I teach a complete lesson as you know, as a group, and then kind of break it down or bring it up to their level. So different resources will come into play. But this is, we had something in here that had to do with library. So this was a spine, and it basically introduced them to the library, where they had vocabulary, words, books, library and recorded book. And yeah, you guys saw we have tons of recorded books. So that was great. Let's see, read the story to the group, you know, that type of thing. Discuss what the library is. You saw them learn how to use the library, the rules of the library, the shelf markers. You saw them learning how to mark the shelf so that they don't put the book in the wrong place on the shelf. That's a very, you know, when you're starting homeschool, the children need to know how to take care of the books. That's just, you know, a number one, and that can be a whole lesson. You know, if you just don't know where to start at the library, because that's just the most important thing you're going to use in the whole room is the library and the books. So even if you only have one book, you have to teach them how to use it, you know, if you go visit the library. So, you know, review ways to care for books, help them understand about the library, show them covers, you know, the insides, things like that. And then in here, for art, there's an art lesson. Draw your favorite book, or write, you know, make a title, a cover. There's a field trip in here. Visit the library. There's language, paper bag, theater. We haven't done that one yet. Over their favorite story. And then we have recorded books, which we have done. So you need books on tape player or CD player, and books. And then you discuss the books. Estimation. Encourage the children to estimate how many books you have in your library. We will get to that. It falls under math. Practice counting by fives. You place stacks of books. So 5 books, 10 books, you know, 2, 3, however you want to do it. Also under math, ask them to compare the sizes and things like that. So that was fun. For music, teach them, ask them their favorite book, sing it to the tune of The Wheels on the Bus. Also sing a story, which we have done, and also poems. Snacks, they give you fresh wheat bread, and the book is Little Red Hen. Blueberries for Sal. Blueberries, of course, which we have. That book. Pancakes, Eric Carl. Spaghetti. Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs. So spaghetti and meatballs. And they have watched the movie. We do have the book. We haven't read it. But they eat spaghetti. My kids eat spaghetti all day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. It's spaghetti. Yeah. So, dramatic play. I talked about our centers, which I have to get into. Set up a library for them to show them how to, you know, check out books and have different bins and, you know, things like that so they can sort them. And it gives you extra, you know, related books. And I just chose out, if you guys saw Strigonona, Ping, I thought those were appropriate. So I pulled those 2 out. And that is that lesson, or the end of that in that book. And then also my spine for the bigger kids. These Explore and Learn books. This is volume 4. There's a 6-volume set. I did not include this in the in my lesson plan because I already know to go and get them. And so because they're already headed out, I know, you know, okay, let me go get this, because there's something in it on every subject that we have. I have outlined, so I already automatically know to get this for the big kids. You know, kinder, first grade up. This is going to help tremendously. So they're about Southwestern. So what I did was, in here we have a chapter, and it's just these 2 pages, which is chock full of information. That's enough for them. Reading for fun. And it talks about not only books being, you know, things for reading, but newspapers, comics, magazines. It talks about the publishers, talks about magazines telling us, you know, that are genred under hobbies and interests. What else? How a designer uses a computer to make the pages, how they arrange the words and the pictures on the screen, how it's printed. And here they see children in storytelling time. And they see illustrations, which we also covered, which is also in our what your first grader, what your kindergartner, what your preschooler needs to know. So they've already done that part, which is actually yeah, that's down here in week 1. Yeah, in week 1. And I'm way down in, yeah, what your kindergartner needs to know. So they've already done this. What's an author, what's an illustrator, and all that stuff. famous characters. We talked about the illustrations in the books. Also bookstores. They know about bookstores and what to find in bookstores. We've gone to bookstores, so they know pretty much what it is. And then this right here was just ask them pretty much where can they guess where this picture, what story it's from. And it's Goldilocks. So, and it talks about how stories, what were the first children's stories. They were tales told by grandparents that they told parents, and now parents are telling children. And, 300 years ago was when they were published. Comics and cartoon strips became popular over 100 years ago. So, in addition to that chapter, I added in this chapter called Let's Talk, because they need to know not all books are written in English. There are different languages. Different cultures speak different languages. So, you can see books written by monks, how they used goose feathers and pens, so they thought that was really interesting. To evolve from the computer, because nowadays that's all kids know is a computer. Hieroglyphics, which they picked up on when we did our unit study in ancient Egypt. And then alphabets, how they can see different alphabets in different languages. So it goes from English to Japanese to Greek to Arabic to Russian and Spanish. And since we are also, multilingual household, and I'm teaching them how to read and speak, at least all of these, aside from Russian, Greek, and Japanese, they need to be able to recognize them. And then over here it says do a word search, or it tells you what a word search is. An interpreter, a script, so those are vocabulary words. Using your hands to tell a story. And then over here just some different ways to say good day. So language is part of books. And Chinese writing, first words, and how many different languages. So they will know that they're not just English books all across the world. They're everywhere, as well as different people. So, and they will know that some books are written strictly in that language. Some are written in 2 languages. Because, some people want the translation. But they also learned that, I think you saw that in the video, what kinds of books they would expect to find in the library, different topics, and things like that. So they just really know what to expect. We have a well-rounded library, and these are like my supplements, but here are these explore and learn books, and then we also have the Ask Me books, so I'm pulling a lot out of there, but we have a well-rounded library now. And yeah, and this is mainly first grade, but these are readers that I read to them. This is where I got Ping from, and Stringer. Or Striga, I already say Striga. So the other side of the room, basically our what do you want to call these books up here? Resource books. A lot of our Usborne books. A lot of our African American history. These are a lot of books that the ones that they have free range of, basically. The little golden books. Little people books, and those are actually there in the blue bin. The books that we actually started with, which made me go buy that whole other shelf, because we didn't have very many books literature wise for kinder first grade, so I needed literature based books. So We have come a long way from that band, but yeah, very important in there. So, and then these are just random ones that I know that they will just kind of, you know, toss around and I don't care. So, they're here. But, yeah, well done. I mean, these books kind of, I mean, they bring it together. Like I said, they're very, you know, the chapters are very small, but they're very powerful. And, you know, they're 4.5, so they're early, they're really, you know, they're midway kindergarten. Getting ready to transition them to first grade. They're pretty early, but this, you know, is good enough for them. They don't need anything long and drawn out. And then they have to, they ask questions. After we go through all of this, they always ask questions. So there's more of a discussion. I had to cut off after, let's see, we read Ping. You didn't get to see Ping, but there was a discussion after that. So about 20 minutes went on, and it's going to go on after that, I'm sure. Well, they're taking a nap at the moment, but I just wanted to touch base and show you, while I had a free moment, so how I actually do things around here, and yeah, things that I do purchase in the hauls. I am showing you in these videos how I'm actually using them, not just buying stuff to let it sit. We are actually using the stuff. So there is that. Science, yeah, contrary to their wanting, they want to do science projects all day because that's what we've been doing, but I have to get them out of science experiments and out of a lot of arts and crafts. We're going to have dedicated days now because that's all they want to do and not so much work. But if they are diligent, we can get through this by December rather than the end of the year, the way I paced it out. Because what, 48 weeks? Yeah, we could actually get through it a lot sooner the way we are moving. But just depends. So anywho, hope you guys enjoyed that lesson, and I will be back.